welcome to your very first 9th standard geography class. Now we will start with the first chapter of your text, and the first chapter is about India's size and location. Now today, if you invite your friend to your house, what do you give him first, or what he asks from you? He asks from you your address. Why he asks from you your address? To locate your house. So similarly, if you want to locate, or if anybody wants to locate India on the globe, we have to know the size and location of India. Now I have divided the chapter into 5 parts. That is introduction, location of India, size of India, India and the world, and India's neighbor. So we have divided the chapter into 5 distinct parts. To start off, the introductory paragraph of your book says, if you see the introductory paragraph, you will see it says, India is one of the ancient civilizations of the world. That means what? That in the past, there were several civilizations in the world. Like we had the Mesopotamian civilization, the Chinese civilization, the Egyptian civilization. Similarly, we had the Mohenjo-daro and Harappa civilization in India, which is considered to be one of the most advanced civilization of that time. But that doesn't mean that India is not advanced or civilized now. It is not that. We have also achieved a lot over the past few decades, over past 50-60 years. So if you see in the field of literature, in the field of agriculture, in the field of technology, in the field of economics, everywhere India has progressed. We have developed. Though if you see the parameter of the world, India is still considered as a developing nation, not a developed nation. But we are progressing very rapidly. At present, in the present scenario, you can see that how well India is. With a huge population, India is fighting so well with this COVID-19 coronavirus. We are at par in fighting with this virus with the rest of the world. So we can say that India has progressed very well over the past few decades. Now we come to the second part of the chapter, that is location. We come to the second part of the chapter, that is location. Now again I will go back to the globe. If you see the globe here, you will see that there are several imaginary lines drawn on the globe. There are vertical lines as well as horizontal lines. Now what do we call these horizontal lines? We call these horizontal lines, or the sleeping lines, the lines of latitude or parallels. Similarly, you will see vertical lines drawn across the globe. What do we call these vertical lines? We call these vertical lines the lines of longitude or meridians. So you will see there are several imaginary lines drawn across the globe. Now, why do we draw these lines on the globe? Do we draw them just to decorate the globe? No, we don't draw these lines to decorate the globe. We draw these lines so that it is easy for us to locate any place, to measure any distance, say from the equator to any place on the northern hemisphere or in the southern hemisphere. If you want to locate, it is very essential to know the longitude and latitude. So if we come to India, our own country. If you see the position of India on this map, you will see India lies in the center of, it is approximately in the center of Asia. Now this is the line of equator. It is above the equator. So here also you can see this is the line of equator, 0 degree, and India lies on the northern side of the equator. Now this is the 0 degree prime meridian. If you see India, it is on the eastern side of the prime meridian. So you can make out from this that India lies entirely in the eastern hemisphere and the northern hemisphere. That is the position of India on the globe. Now, what are the lines of latitude and longitude that is cutting across India? If you see the map of India, you will see a very prominent line, a horizontal line or line of latitude, or you can say parallel line that is passing across India. This parallel line is the Tropic of Cancer, that is 23.5 degrees north. The Tropic of Cancer divides India into almost 2 equal halves. Next, we come to the lines of latitude. Now, if you see the cardinal direction of India, this is, you can see this is north of India, this is east of India, this is west of India, and this is south of India. But when you see this line of latitude here, the southernmost line of latitude here, you will see it is written 8 degrees 4 minutes north. Now, though this is south, why are we writing north? Again, let me refer to this figure here. It is because, as I told you, India lies entirely in the northern hemisphere. So, though this is south of India, yet we write 8 degrees 4 minutes north. That is the southernmost latitude of India. Now, this is the northernmost latitude of India, and as you can see, it is 37 degrees 6 minutes north. That is the northernmost latitude of India. If you come to the east, this vertical line that you are seeing, it is 97 degrees 25 minutes east. This is the easternmost longitude of India. And if you come to the west, you will see it is written 68 degrees 7 minutes east. This is the westernmost longitude of India. Now, you will say, ma'am, this is west. So, why are we writing east here? We are writing east here because, again, if you see here, we are on the eastern hemisphere, or that is eastern side of the prime meridian. That's why we are, though the cardinal direction is west, we are writing east. So this is the latitudinal location and longitudinal location of India. Now, if you see your book, they are saying that we have 2 groups of islands. We have the Andaman Nicobar Islands on the southeastern side of India, and we have the Lakshadweep Islands on the southwestern side of India. That is the location of India. This is the mainland of India. We have, together with this group of islands, we call that it is Union of India. This is the mainland of India, and this is the Union of India. So, now let me refer to your book. If you see the size of India, then let's see the size of India. The total area of India is 3.28 million square kilometer. That is the total land area of India. If you see what is India's position in the world, then you will come to know that it is 2.4% area of the world. India occupies 2.4% area of the world. India, if you see, is the 7th largest country in the world. Now, what are the countries which are larger than India? For that, if you refer to this figure out here in your book, you will see the countries which are larger than India is Russia, Canada, USA, China, Brazil, Australia, and on the 7th position we have India. So India is the 7th largest country of the world. India's total land area is approximately 15,000 kilometers. That is the approximate land area of India. Now you can see India has a vast coastline. You can see India has a vast coastline. The coastline of India is approximately 7,500 kilometers. That is the coastline of India. Now you see, now let's come to this map once more. You see these lines drawn here on the globe. Now, why these lines are drawn in the globe, I told you earlier, that is to measure the distance as well as to measure the, time. So, if you see the longitude of Gujarat and Arunachal Pradesh, you will see it is 68 and 97. If you minus 68 from 97, it will be approximately 30 lines of longitude. So 30 lines of longitude crosses India. There are 30 lines of longitude across India. Now, the difference between each line of longitude is 4 minutes. Let me refer to this figure for your better understanding. If you see, this is the prime meridian or the 0 degree line of longitude. Now, there are 24. You see here, I have written here that there are 24 meridians on the earth. After every 15 meridians, every 15 line of longitude we consider as one meridian. So there are 24 meridians across the globe. So you see, in 24 hours the earth rotates 360 degree. That is the rotation of the earth in 24 hours. Now 24 hours the earth rotates 360 degree. In 1 hour the earth rotates only 15 degree, or you can say the earth rotates 1 degree in 4 minutes. So as I told you, the longitudinal difference between Gujarat and Arunachal Pradesh is 30. The longitudinal difference between Gujarat and Arunachal Pradesh is 30 degrees. So 30 into 4 if you do, that is 120 minutes, or that is 2 hours. So the time difference between Arunachal Pradesh and Gujarat is 2 hours. Now that we have come to know. Now again I will refer to this globe. If you see, if we go towards the east, we add on time, and if we go towards the west, we minus time, or time becomes less. So here in India, if it is Friday, it will be Thursday in USA, because here we add and here we subtract. So similarly, if you see India, if it is 6 a.m. in Arunachal Pradesh, it will be 4 a.m. in Gujarat. There is a time difference of 2 hours. And why so? Now you will tell me, ma'am, why here it is 6 and here it is 4? It is because because of the position of the earth, because the earth is rotating on its axis, and because of the rising of the sun. This earth rotates from west to east and the sun rises in the east. So eastern side sees the sunlight first. So always as we go to the east, we add time, and as we go to the west, we minus time. Now, in India, every state has its own local time. So, if you want to travel, say from West Bengal to Kashmir or to Gujarat or to, say Arunachal Pradesh or Kanyakumari, there will be a lot of confusion because every place will be having its own local time. So, what we do, to avoid this confusion all over the country, we take one standard time for the whole country. Now, what is that standard time? That standard time is you can see this line of longitude, 82 degrees 30 minutes east. This is the standard meridian. This is the standard meridian of India, because if you calculate, you will see it divides the country almost into two equal parts. It is the midpoint of 68 and 97. So this is the standard meridian. It passes through a place called Mirzapur in Uttar Pradesh. So the local time of Mirzapur here is taken as the standard time for the whole country. So if it is 9 o'clock here on 82 degrees 30 minutes Mirzapur, whole country will set their time accordingly. So it will be 9 o'clock for the rest of the country, whether it's north, whether it's east, whether it's west or south. So this is why this is done to avoid the confusion of time, because India is a vast country. So student, this much is for today. Next day I will continue with the rest. It is because India lacked technology. We never had proper ships that could travel on distant rough oceans and seas. So Indian travelers used to move from India to the east and west through land routes. There were a lot of interchanges through the passes in the Himalayas, and the travelers, they used to interchange ideas as well as commodities. These sea routes have contributed in the exchange, these routes of ideas and commodities. The ideas of the Upanishads, the Ramayana, the Panchatantra, Indian numericals, the decimals have traveled all across the world. It has gone to far off lands. Indian spices, muslin cloth, and all these things have gone to Indian tea, very, very famous in European countries, have gone from India to far off lands. Similarly, the Greek sculpture, the architectural style of Southwest Asia, the minarets, as you can see in the Taj Mahal, in the construction of the Taj Mahal, the Charminar, the minarets, these have come from the western side to India. So this interchange of ideas as well as commodities has taken place both through land routes and sea routes. Now we come to the last portion or the concluding portion of the chapter, that is India's neighbors. Who are India's neighbors? Now, if you see, they are Afghanistan, Pakistan on the northwest, China, Nepal, Bhutan, Myanmar, Bangladesh on the eastern side, and we have two island countries as our neighbor, that is the Maldives and the Sri Lanka. Now Sri Lanka is separated from India by Gulf of Mannar and Palk Strait. In India at present we have 29 states and 7 union territories. This is the position of India. Now India along with the neighbors are known as the Indian subcontinent. India enjoys a very strategic position on the map of Asia, and it is very, very well connected with the world. So this is all about the chapter. Thank you.